Hi, can you hear me? So time to talk about real shit, I guess. Hi, my name is Swapnil. I am Chief Toilet Cleaner at Samagra. And we have this platform that's about behavior change and providing sanitation. So this is basically, a program is called Loo Rewards. And what we do is we do two things. We promote hygienic behavior and we create funds for building and maintaining more toilets. So you might ask, I mean, Rajesh has put a very interesting point, so I don't have to go through the slides like this in terms of there are 9 crore or 90 million slum dwellers living in deplorable conditions, and the problem is about access, apathy, and awareness. Even if they have toilets, they are not maintained or they do not use those toilets. And the consequences are huge in terms of there was a World Sanitation Program report out that India loses 6% of its GDP because of sanitation, $53 billion, I guess. So there are so many consequences, but I've been doing this for 3 years, have failed 3 times. So this is the 4th time. I mean, as they say, 4th time is the charm, hopefully. So we have found that there are 3 critical factors, that toilets are not maintained, and then they're not designed by keeping end user in mind, and the users are not engaged. So if I'm coming from a village, and I have always gone outside, so I have done this. My grandfather did not have toilet. I loved it, right? There is fresh air coming in, and nowadays you have a mobile, you listen to songs, and you have friends chatting and stuff like that. So how do I change that behavior? So I went to US in 2001. I had constipation for 6 months because I was using Indian toilets and I could not go in the Western style. It's a behavior change aspect, right? So how do we do this? So we found that there are 3 things that we have to do. We don't just have to provide toilets, which is accessibility. We have to make them affordable, but we have to make them aspirational. Aspirational in the sense we have to think about psychology. Why do people build 10 lakh rupee houses but don't have toilets in those houses? So we found that we have to have 3-pronged approach in terms of having awesome toilet experiences and engaging our users, understanding their wants and the needs, and then monetizing the user engagement to make this platform scalable. So this is the solution that we are building. But you might think monetize user is engagement, what the shit is this guy talking about, right? So what you have to just figure out is market dynamics, right? Think about how Facebook, Google, and Twitter make money, right? You go into Google, you search for something, do they charge you money for it? No, what they do is they analyze and monetize your data, and they are making tons of money because of it. So we started thinking about market dynamics. This is the urban poor market. It's a 30,000 crore rupee market. And there are 50 companies trying to get a piece of this pie, but they don't know anything about the user that they're trying to serve. But we know those users, right? But there are no channels of engagement existing at the BOP. If you look at BOP, there is no Facebook, no Google, or no Twitter, right? So we started doing some experimentation, and this was the experiments we ran in Bhubaneswar. People were coming in toilets, we were giving them points, and then they could redeem points for discounts on soaps and things like that, and we started seeing engagement. So I started thinking, what if I use toilets as channels of brand engagement? What if my toilet was a Facebook, right? And a Facebook in which people have to log in twice every day, right? No matter what, or maybe thrice sometimes, or maybe more. So that's why we are building this platform, again, that uses toilets as a channel of brand engagement. And we get lots of data, socio-demographic data, and things like that, which I will talk about. And then this is how it works. They use toilets, they get points, they redeem points, and based on their redemption, we study the behavior. We get a lot of data, which we are trying to sell, have not sold any data yet, but hopefully it will change. So it grows and grows and grows. So it's a multi-sided business model in which we serve our business partners and municipal partners and other BOP business. If you're trying to sell clean water, if you are trying to sell a clean cook stove, you can easily plug into this model because each of these products require behavior change in some aspect, right? So these are the unit economics, which some might say don't make any sense. I've just put them here. But the whole idea is that even if we earn 200 rupees per user per year, will be fabulous. So the idea is if we have 10,000 users, it will give birth to 50 new toilets, which will again have to 2,500 users, and this can keep growing. So it has a win-win value proposition for all our stakeholders, and this is how we are doing it. So this was a toilet, no engagement with the user, and here comes the Loo Rewards app, which is given to the operator. and he can do all sorts of things, and I was the first operator in this toilet. So what we did, we went in with certain objectives, look at the condition of this toilet and kids defecating, and then we started putting in the platform one by one. That is our kiosk, and we started put in new rules, and then we started making people members, right? And this is the components of the kiosk, and we were doing it with pen and paper to understand, and then we made an app for it. So we started seeing that there is 600% increase in number of people paying and using the toilet. And then we started giving customer service, helping people when water was not coming in the summer, helping elderly and disabled with free passes. But this is where the biggest challenge was and is when we are trying to solve this problem is, how do I stop this, right? And this is where this program is. So use a toilet, get points and redeem points. And when you redeem points, you get rewards which are in form of these coupons. And when you redeem these coupons, we study your buying behavior. And that is where all that market dynamics was. So we have done product promotions. We have done water filter promotions in the toilet kiosks. And we have done surprise rewards, and they work really well. What if you come to a toilet on a Monday and you get a water filter as a reward, right? You would want to come toilet every day, right? And we do all sorts of social norming. We are using psychology of influence and stuff like that to promote good behavior. And I mean, this is the data that you and I understand very well, bar graphs, but they don't know this data, right? So we are still figuring out how do I make this data visualizable for that end user. And the impact has been that in this particular location, 62 users are using toilet for the very first time, right? And then we also do this. So we get revenues from our program, and then we do these changes. Small changes, making windows bigger, creates so much difference, right? Putting in lights, so this is the light system that we have designed, which brings light from outside so that they cannot be stolen, because people steal light all the time. And then internal plumbing, and then just grinding the stairs, because every day 4 or 5 people will just fall from these stairs in the monsoon. And then sanitary waste, which is one of the biggest challenges in these places, because think about it. When I went into the toilets, designing toilets, I did not realize that this is the only place where a girl or a woman residing in Islam gets to change her pads, right? This is the only private place for her. So this is one of the biggest areas we are working on, designing dustbins that actually people use. So if you look at that ventilation, that window, that is where they will stuff their used napkins. So what we put our dustbin right there, because they are used to this, right? So they started using it, and then we create lots of analytics. A municipality can log into our dashboard and look at how many users are using the toilet, and we have 3,300 users right now. And then this is where interesting thing comes in. We make one toilet operator compete with another. We say, man, you have so many complaints, that guy is doing better, and there are rewards for the toilet operators also, because believe it or not, this is still the shittiest job in India. India has such a big thing with waste taboo. My father does not talk to me, right, because I clean toilets now. So because he does not tell anybody what I do. Hey, he said, okay, he has come back from America doing something, right? Because this is such a big time. I'm not joking. The thing is, it's so difficult to realize that somebody who works in cleaning toilets, he's stigmatized. Hey, did you watch Satyamev Jayate, that episode about manual scavenging? I mean, anyway, so what ends up happening is Loo Rewards make any toilet a smart toilet. You don't have to spend a lot of money. We just give a tablet loaded with our application, and operator does all these things. We do back-end analytics on it, right? So these are the insights that we are getting, right? And this is what we want to monetize, right? And eventually this is about, we want to take it to the community and society, and we are working on those levels also. And in the end, why does it matter? It matters because every rupee you invest in sanitation, it has been proven to give 10 rupee in returns, right? And it actually improves lives at so many levels that I don't know where every one of you should work on this thing. But anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Swapna. Very good presentation. Any questions from the audience? There is one from Sampada in the back. Yeah.
And while you're getting the mic there, that it's a fast note that the
Yes, yes. I mean, my mother does the same thing, right? But so I'm a Brahmin, which does not mean anything to me, but it means to my family, I guess. I don't know. It's an Indian crappy system. So
Hi, Swapnil. This is Sampada. It's a great initiative. It's a commendable initiative that you're doing. So I have two questions. One, where have you launched this? Is this in the rural areas or the slums in urban areas?
So, yeah, this is just in slums. Because for this to work, you need density, basically. And rural will have, so there are some components of psychology that you can use in terms of marketing and financing, but this model cannot be used in rural. So we are doing it in slums, in Pune.
Okay. Okay. And the second question is your revenue model just pay-per-use, or are you using some marketing, as in the brands which are giving you discount, do you have advertisements within the toilets for them?
So, I mean, talk about chicken and egg problem, which somebody just talked about. So we went to brands and we said, we have this awesome metrics. They said, come back when you have 25,000 users, right? So we are building that up. So we are doing lots of data analytics. That is where we get our revenue from. But realize this, when you give something to someone for free, they don't care about it. So we do charge nominal 50 rupees per user per month for the whole family, actually. So 50 rupees per family for unlimited use, just for the heck of it, because they then own the toilet. Okay, and then we give them a physical pass, which they actually lose in 10 days, but actually it gives them an ownership aspect, I guess. Yeah.
One to the question from the lady at the back, please. Yeah.
I think what you're doing is amazing. I have a question with regards to, I know this is how it works. Like, I've worked with slums in Delhi, and what we feel with, like, what we've figured with community toilets is that that's something that is mandated by the municipal corporations, and that's tendered on a 5-year basis, and it's incredibly difficult for a startup to get those tenders. So how are you working with how do you actually get ownership of these toilets, or are you building your own? Or
so,
what?
you know, the biggest thing which we found is, ask municipality for nothing. Just tell them that we'll take care of all the expenses. So municipality will say, okay, take all of them, right? So that's what we are doing. And what we have figured out is you don't need lakhs of rupees to change things in a toilet. Average expense per toilet for us is $2,500, which is 1/3 of my salary in US. So $2,500 is 1 lakh rupees. All these things, these are very cheap to do. So that's what we do is we tell municipality, just give these toilets. We are not asking you for a single penny. And that's what has worked so far. I don't know whether it will work in Delhi. But I tried the other way, tendering and everything, and they said 30% cut and 40% cut. I said, go to hell.
Yeah, it's difficult to work around that. Okay,
Right.
sure. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. We're going to wrap this session up. All right. One last question, please.
Hi, my name is Roshni. As you mentioned in one of your slides that the model that you generally uses, you have these tabs that is deployed on these toilets, and people, once they use it, they have to register themselves, or they probably input their details.
Yeah.
And basis those details, you're doing certain analysis at the back end to ensure that you redeem the points. So don't you feel there is a problem, like many users don't have a mobile number, so how do you do those kind of mapping? What is the primary key and stuff that you use?
You might be surprised. I mean, everyone has a mobile phone. I mean, 98%.
No, but in slums, as you said, that you've done your POC in slums.
So, I mean,
right?
I came to India thinking that Islam people are poor, but they're not poor. Right? So, poverty in slums is a very different thing. They will have DTH, direct-to-home TVs. They will have gas connection. They will have everything. They will have refrigerators.
But not toilets.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but so I mean, they are not poor per se. The idea is they don't want to pay for service that has been provided to them for free. I mean, going out in open is free, right? So that is where behavior changes. So I think that is where I think the challenge is making them pay 50 rupees. So they don't have problem. Some people are genuinely they are poor. And this is self-reported. If they say they cannot pay, we don't force them to pay.
Okay,
We motivate them to pay. Because if you pay, you get rewards. If you don't pay, you don't get any.
Okay, so have you ever tried pushing them, as you said that they are mobile users, so have you tried pushing them any kind of recharges and stuff? Like what is the kind of behavior that is shown for digital
So
goods?
one
and
part of
vis-a-vis-
our application is the operator. He can now charge the mobile phones in the toilet. So I already have the phone number. I just ask the user, भाई साहब आप आना 10 मिनट में आपका फ़ोन चार्ज कर दूं क्या? So he comes back and his phone is topped up. So that's what we are doing actually.
Alright.
So they like that aspect.
All right. Sorry, in interest of time, we need to wrap this
Yeah.
session up. Thanks, Swapnil. Thanks a lot.